Okay, excellent. Welcome to the first Bloodline podcast. And I'm excited because one of my favorite producers and people, I get to do the first one with my family. And this is Danny Brinkley, and he's a producer and quite good, I might say. And so, Dan, first questions first. What got you interested into music?
It's a weird story that me and my brother share. We both went to same middle or elementary school when we first moved over here, and we both went on a field trip that neither one of us knew we went on, and it was to the DSO and at the music hall. And typical kids, I was young. We was in there goofing around, and the conductor started warming up each section. And, kind of piqued your interest a little bit, but the conversation was better than what they was doing at the time. So at least we thought, at least I thought, but started bringing in each section one at a time and joining them together and started making sense, and it's like, okay, man, and this is classical music. It's not, we was listening to, rap wasn't out back then, but we was listening to Prince and all those kind of bands back then. So that was miles away from what my ears was accustomed to listening to. But by the time I left there, I was hooked, And
So,
and my brother shared that same story that he, that was it for him also.
yeah, something about classical music, even if you don't like it, is like an emotional connection that you get to it somehow. But
Yeah, yeah. Music don't take you somewhere, then you pretty much listening to trash, I think.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And tell me, what instruments did you grow up playing?
Originally, I started playing the drums. I grew up watching the Muppets, and my parents asked us or told us, "Hey, pick your instrument. You gonna learn how to play it." And we watched the Muppets, and I always liked Animal. He's the drummer in the Muppets, and he was an animal. So he's wild. He's wilding on them drums. So
Right.
the drums. So I learned how to play drums first. I play a little piano, guitars, all that kind of stuff now only because it was always available. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Now, I
Jack of all trades, master of none.
that's the story of, I think, both of our lives, isn't it?
Mhm.
But the like the equipment now is so it allows you to do so many things. I remember you had that ASRX sampler, and
Mhm.
I limited. What did you get, like 6 seconds of sampler time or something like that?
I think you can max it out to 10, but you would have to use maybe four and a half discs to save it on, or three and a half, whatever they were. It would take you an hour to save that 10-second sample. You know?
You think, so do you think you had to be more creative back then or now, as far as with what technology has allowed you to do?
It forced you to. I mean, now if I can sample a whole song and chop it up in the time it took, if the song was 3 minutes, it took me 3 minutes to record it, and I can chop it up. That's something I can do now. Back then, no, you had to be strategic. You had to figure out, I want this part, I want that one word, I want that one note, or whatever. So strategically back then you had to
Right.
figure, go around some corners to figure out to get to that same location.
It was kind of like trying to make a symphony with one instrument at a time and about 10 seconds of that instrument at a time.
Right, exactly.
Uh, And what do you enjoy working on now? You into any certain kind of music or any certain kind of what are you really feeling right now?
I mean, since I got back into playing the drums, I really been listening to kind of everything, but I've been into like Afro beats really heavy right now. It's kind of the same beat, but the vibe is, lyrically, you can do anything. I've heard some really nasty songs all the way up to something, really emotional. You can go anywhere. It may be that same type beat or whatever, but the instruments and how they arrange them and stuff like that, that takes it to a whole different level. Now they may use that same drum beat, but you know, the
It's
vibe they put on the piano, organs, keys, any of that kind of stuff is all different. So it's a good vibe for me right now.
I'm with you on that. It's something about the melodies, what they do with the melodies on there that keeps my attention too. And
Yeah, and I think they really doing a lot better with the auto tune because the earlier beats or earlier songs, the auto tune was kind of they were learning it, which I mean everybody went through that. But now, I hear some girls singing some songs on there, man. It's like, it's hard to tell. You catch that last note, like, yeah, that's it. Now I heard the auto tune. But
yeah.
they got some good singers too, though. You can't take away from that.
And you and I have done some music together, and we got some. We'll be putting out some more music that we did together. And how do you feel? I know how I feel about this, but how do you feel about making music with our family when we're all together making music?
I mean, I make music to enjoy the outcome of it, and my biggest thing has always been I've never been one to make music, with a sole purpose. It's like I'm gonna make a hit. I don't make music that way. I make music to make me feel a certain kind of way. If it make me feel, I got a ton of music that people probably never hear. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't made for other people to hear. And the blessing in making music is you make something that you like for yourself, and the rest of the world just happen to love it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so being around family, that in and of itself is cool. That's always gonna be something that I'm gonna strive for. But to be able to connect on that music level and all of us have our own little ideas and stuff like that, and then it come together. That's always that's always gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, I like the way that we can almost tell what each other's thinking and be like, oh yeah, yeah. Like we don't always have to explain everything, and we can still get like, okay, I see what you're saying. And, okay, all right, this and that. And the workflow is just better. It's one
Right.
one of the things I like about it.
Yeah,
And
and it's from growing up knowing each other, outside of music. I know you like this, you don't like that. I like this, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So musically, that comes into play once you got all those elements together. I might drink some bumpy face today. I doubt it, but now, yeah, I might
yeah,
put some juice in it. I might not.
I know what you're gonna make after drinking puppy face.
Me too. I, so yeah, that's gonna be a whole problem.
well, well, I think that's about it for our first bloodline interview. And man, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate you being the first person to do the video with me. And we'll talk some more. When we make some more music, we'll put it out.
All right, cuz, anytime, man.
All right, good looking, Carl.
Bye, cuz.
All right. Yep.
Yep.